Wrestling fans, this happened just moments ago before we went on the air. The Rock and Roll Express were handing out signed bandanas to fans at ringside when they were attacked by the Horsemen. As you watch the video recorded moments ago, Anderson and Blanchard taking it to Ricky and Robert. And thankfully, Sting, Lex Luger came out and broke up the fight. Ricky and Robert helped backstage by members of Hot Stuff International. And there you see it, Anderson and Blanchard. They were trying to take out Ricky and Robert 1 week before the Japan Super Show, when they will challenge for those World Tag Team titles that Anderson and Blanchard hold. Fans disgusted by this act by Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. They really took it to the Rock and Roll Express, trying to injure them before Tokyo. Robert has sustained some injuries, maybe a broken nose. We don't know for sure yet. Our medical team working over the Rock and Roll Express, tending to them, I should say.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Television Championship.
Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. Josh with you. We are kicking things off with a TV title match, a rematch. The former champion Dusty Rhodes to challenge Barry Windham. There is a 15-minute time limit in this one. Windham captured the TV title by defeating that man right there, Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes held the championship for 56 days. And now he has earned another rematch, moving his way back up the rankings. And Magnum TA, his buddy, not here at ringside. He is not in Atlanta. But Brad Armstrong said he will be in Dusty Rhodes' corner this evening to make sure the Horsemen do not interfere. So that is a great thing for Dusty Rhodes. He's going to get a fair shot at the World Television title. Don't forget our big main event that we mentioned last week is coming your way tonight. We will see the Great Muta and Stan Hansen taking on Lex Luger and the United States Champion Sting. Sold out crowd here tonight. And Windham's just coming out with his manager, James J. Dillon. But you never know when the Horsemen might strike. They could be lurking under the ring. Flair, Anderson, Blanchard, they're all here tonight, and they could come out of the dressing room and come down to the aid of Barry Windham, but luckily Brad Armstrong there, he could cut them off on the rampway. What a night it's going to be, fans. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to see Dangerous Dan Spivey in action. He's taking on the Red Hot Z-Man, Tom Zenk. We'll also see the big Warlord taking on Brad Armstrong. Armstrong will be in action. Also, Wild Bill Irwin to take on Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat. And I mentioned our big main event. That's all coming your way this evening. Next week, of course, is the WCW Japan Super Show, emanating from Tokyo, Japan. That'll be 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday.
Introducing the challenger from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 270 pounds, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Rhodes has 10 wins, 9 losses, and 1 draw.
Introducing the champion from Texas, weighing in at 275 pounds, he is the World Television Champion, Barry Windham.
The champion has 11 wins and 6 losses. He has held the title for 49 days. Hoping to extend it past tonight, our referee, Bill Scott. And we have a 15-minute time limit on this one. Thank you to everyone who has commented on the videos and for liking the videos. Referee calls for the bell. Collar and elbow tie-up. Windham backing the challenger into the corner. Will we see a clean break? Brad Armstrong looking on. And we do not. A cheap shot there by Barry Windham with that gloved hand. And they'll lock up again. Windham, good wrist lock. Getting the advantage. Rhodes probably seeing stars still from that cheap shot. Good armbar there by Windham. Dusty breaks free. Windham floats over. DDT. Windham holds. Look at this. Barry Windham having worked with Brad Armstrong. He is going out on the apron. Armstrong backing away. Not sure what was said, but Barry Windham did not take well to Brad Armstrong being at ringside. Strong kick there by the American Dream. Strong armbar. Driving the champion down to the mat. Windham rolls out to the floor. He took a shot at Brad Armstrong. Punched him right in the jaw, and Armstrong screaming at Windham now. Good body slam by Windham and a strong kick to the back. Measures him again. Solid cowboy boot. Right in the spine. Front face lock by the champion. Measures him. Russian leg sweep. Great. And again, Barry Windham giving Brad Armstrong a lot of attention. Armstrong has been on a roll as of late, hoping to keep that streak going here tonight. Good package suplex there by Barry Windham, but Rhodes able to kick out. Armstrong facing one of his biggest challenges tonight as he faces the awesome Warlord, one half of the Powers of Pain, and a member of Paul Jones's army. Rhodes going for the pile driver, has him up. He rocked him. Rhodes wanting to regain that TV title. If he does, I would say that next week's match would be a rematch in Tokyo, with Dusty Rhodes defending the TV title against Barry Windham. Good chin lock here by Rhodes. Every title will be on the line next week. Windham driving the elbow to the midsection. Front face lock. Nice go behind by Windham and into a sleeper. Good conversion there by Barry Windham, but Rhodes drives the chin into the top of the head. Desperation move, but effective nonetheless. And now Rhodes throws Windham up and over, but Windham grabbed the top rope, but he's knocked off the apron as Rhodes drilled him in the midsection with that shoulder block. Windham went flying, almost hit the railing. Windham slips behind, shoves Rhodes off, floats over, a DDT, and Rhodes nearly hit his head on the edge of the step. Leaping knee there by Big Barry Windham. Windham again going after Brad Armstrong. He cleaned his clock with a forearm shot. Windham would love to take the count out here, but Rhodes is back in. And down goes Bill Scott. High knee lift there by Rhodes. Our referee, very tough, shakes it off. I think it was inadvertent. Windham was trying to get the Dusty. Referee got sandwiched in the middle. Big forearm blast there by the champion. And now Windham looking for that Texas Cloverleaf submission hold. Turns him over, but he turned him over the wrong way. And that allows Rhodes to grab the bottom rope. Windham not thinking clearly there. He needed to transition the other direction to avoid Rhodes grabbing the rope and forcing the break. Good shoulder tackle there by the Dream, and he might be going for that bionic elbow. He tapped the elbow pad with his palm. Drives him down. Cover here by the challenger. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. New champion. No, 2.5. Rhodes would love to regain that title. Become the first two-time champion here in World Championship Wrestling. At least for the TV title. Ric Flair is, of course, a two-time world champion. Rhodes gonna suplex Windham back in. Nice move there by the American Dream. Stomps him right between the eyes. And now Rhodes looking for that crippler crossface. Middle of the ring. Windham fighting free. What a punch right to the mouth of the American Dream. Clubbing blow there by Windham. 10 minutes remain in the time limit. Snap suplex. This is one that could very well go to a time limit draw. Barry Windham currently holds the head-to-head advantage. He has defeated Dusty Rhodes twice, and Rhodes has never won against Barry Windham. Punishing move there by the champion. Windham would love to improve that record to 3-0 tonight. Turns him over, middle of the ring. Windham would love to take the TV title into Tokyo. Face the next challenger, whoever that will be. Windham might be going for the claw. And there, he's got it locked in. He's got it locked in, middle of the ring. And Rhodes fading fast. Referee checking in. Rhodes might be going out here. He is kicking the feet, trying to fight free. And he's pulling the hand away. Look at the strength of the American Dream. And he gets out of the claw. Very few men have escaped. Rhodes fires him into the corner. Charging in now. Flips him around. Grabs him by the back of the tights. And drives him shoulder first into the ring post. Now pulls him out of the corner by the legs. Picks him up. Good repeated blows here by the challenger. Winds up and knocks down Windham. He flattened Barry Windham. This might be all. New champion. 2 and 3. No, Windham just got the shoulder up. Rhodes complains of a slow count. And now the Dream looking for the bionic elbow. If he lands it, we're going to have a new champion. And here it comes. He blasted Windham. He busted him wide open. Cover. Middle of the ring. We got a new champion. No, Windham somehow gets the shoulder up. And this match continues. Rhodes thought he had the championship won right there. But he is cooking. He is ready to take down Barry Windham. Thought he was going for a camel clutch, but he's just going to pound away on the forehead of Windham. And now, Rhodes tying him up. Ankle lock. And pulling back on the chin. Looking for a submission victory. Windham might have to cry uncle right here. Windham's trapped. We are close to crowning a new TV champion. Here in Atlanta, Georgia. Windham somehow able to flip Rhodes over. Rhodes with a clothesline. He floored the champion. Windham was looking for that float over DDT. Rhodes had it well scouted. And Rhodes looking for his first win against Barry Windham. 7 minutes remain in the time limit. Reverse chin lock here by the challenger. Windham slow to get to his feet. Drives the elbow to the breadbasket. And again. And Windham grabs Rhodes. Throws him into the buckle. And now Windham looking for the suplex. He's getting pinned. Good bridge here. 1. Can he hold him down? A 2 count. What a match to kick off the program. And he fires Rhodes into the corner again. Lifts him up onto that top turnbuckle. Windham looking for the superplex. If he lands it, he'll retain. He did. Devastating move there by Windham. Can he turn him over? Can he turn him over? Wraps up the leg. Referee slow to get down to count. 1, 2. He got him. Windham retains. Hard-fought victory here tonight, but he'll go on to Tokyo, Japan to face the next challenger. Windham's reign will extend. By next week, it'll be to 56 days. Impressive win here by Barry Windham. Fans stunned. It was a clean win by Big Barry Windham. Rhodes came so close to capturing the title, but Windham prevails and retains. And Rhodes still looking for his first win against Barry. A good rally there at the end by Barry Windham. Here's the official word.
Here is your winner, and still World Television
Look at Brad Armstrong. He's furious.
Barry Windham.
But Windham with a clean win. Not sure what Brad Armstrong was yelling at Barry Windham about. We'll be right back. Wrestling fans, what is going on here? It's our world champion Ric Flair has been attacked by Vader. These two men will meet next week in Tokyo for the world heavyweight title. Vader not wanting to wait. He is trying to take out the champion. Fans booing. Vader is the #1 contender. Reverse powerbomb and Flair hit face first against that hard concrete. I never thought I'd say this, but we need help for Ric Flair, the world champion. Usually it's Flair attacking other men, but now on the shoes on the other foot, so to speak. Good gut wrench suplex there by Vader. Where are the horsemen? Barry Windham just went for medical treatment to treat that busted open forehead. Where's Anderson and Blanchard? Welcome back to the ring, wrestling fans. The action continues. Good news to report on the Rock and Roll Express. They are okay. No major injuries, no broken bones. They have been treated. We have singles action now. Dan Spivey taking on Z-Man, Tom Zenk.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by the living legend, Ravishing Rick Rude, and from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 293 pounds, Dangerous Dan Spivey.
Minus Rick Martel and Sid Vicious, we have the entire Medusa's militia coming to the ring. Ravishing Rick Rude and the living legend Larry Zbyszko and their manager Medusa will be in the corner of Dan Spivey for this singles matchup. I do not think that Brian Pillman is in the building. He is in Cincinnati watching the Bengals-Ravens game. We're getting ready to watch it tomorrow. So Brian Pillman not in the building. Bengals trying to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. They have to win out. The Steelers have to go 1-3. The Ravens have to go 2-2. 1-3 or 2-2 and worse. And the Bengals would win the AFC North with a 7-9 record. Not impressive. But whatever it takes to get in. I can't think of the last time a losing team has made the playoffs. I want to say it was the Rams sometime in the 2000s, early 2000s. They were in a very sad NFC West, I believe. And they won with a 7-9 record. Everybody else in the division was horrible. We'll see what happens. Remember, the Bengals have been without Joe Burrow for most of the season. He's played 4 games. They're 3-1 in those games. Never should have lost to Buffalo, but that's another story. Let's go back to the ring.
And his opponent, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 240 pounds, Z-Man Tom Zenk.
What an ovation for the Z-Man. He has been red hot as of late, winning several matches in a row, hoping to keep the streak alive. He would love to be the next challenger for that World TV title. The top contender has not been named yet, but he will be named before we go off the air, and we'll announce who will be challenging for that World TV title next Saturday in Tokyo. 15-minute time limit in this contest, both men wanting to move up the ladder. Spivey has focused more on tag team wrestling with his partner Sid Vicious, but so is Z-Man. He has teamed with Brian Pillman to amass quite a few wins in the tag team division. Both men great singles wrestlers in their own rights, but here Z-Man, of course, outnumbered. There are 3 out on the floor that are going to favor Dan Spivey. Z-Man can't go out there. He needs to keep this match in the ring. And of course, 0 in the corner of Tom Zenk. And Dan Spivey already taking it to Tom Zenk. Picks him up, but Z-Man, nice reversal. And a good shoulder tackle, taking down Dan Spivey. Z-Man fired up. Scoops him up. Good body slam. And a quick cover by the Z-Man. And a quick kick out by Dan Spivey. Spivey grabs the Z-Man, whips him into the corner, charging in with a thunderous clothesline that sends Tom Zenk to the mat. Good move there by Tom Zenk. A beautiful jawbreaker, and now Z-Man trying to hoist him up in that suplex. He's got the big man up. Remember, Dan Spivey, 6'6", maybe 6'7". I believe over 300 pounds. And Tom Zenk perched on the top rope, looking for the double axe handle, but Spivey moved out of the way. I think Z-Man lost his footing as well. Z-Man might have caught him with a glancing blow, but did not get the full effect of that double axe handle. And again, Z-Man just off the mark. Spivey just able to duck. Drives him face first to the mat. Medusa looking on, cheering on her man, Dan Spivey. Next week, of course, the Japan Super Show, the big main event, Ric Flair, if he's able to wrestle. And hopefully he is. If you just joined us, he was attacked earlier by Big Van Vader, the #1 contender. And they will meet next week in Tokyo for the World Heavyweight title. Also signed the World Tag Team Champions. Cover here by Spivey, 2, and a very near fall. Z-Man just got the shoulder off the mat. Spivey didn't think he did. Spivey was convinced it was 3. Grabs the Z-Man. Driving Tom Zenk face first into that top turnbuckle. And down goes Z-Man. He is in trouble. Good drop toe hold there by Tom. The World Tag Team titles, of course, on the line next week, a rematch. The former champions Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, will take on the champions, the Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. We will receive a preview of 2 of the matches tonight, as we see Stan Hansen and the Great Muta teaming up to take on Lex Luger and the U.S. champion Sting. But next week, it'll be man-to-man as Sting defends the U.S. title against the Great Muta. And Stan Hansen will take on the Total Package Lex Luger in singles action. Those matches coming your way next week from Japan. Also signed earlier, it'll be a Tornado Tag Team match, a Top Contenders match too. Doom taking on the Road Warriors. Tornado Tag, which means all 4 men will be in the ring at the same time. Pinfalls and submissions count. And Z-Man looking for the figure 4, locks it on. Big Dan Spivey, middle of the ring. Doesn't seem to have it locked in well. Spivey is able to punch his way free. And of course, a return match for the U. He's going for the powerbomb. Has him up. This is going to be the end of the night for Z-Man. No, it's a whirlybird. That usually is the precursor to that big powerbomb, that devastating move that Spivey uses to win matches. It's his finisher. The former champions next week, the Midnight Express. Cover here by Spivey. Easy kick out by Tom. As we approach 10 minutes remaining in the time limit. That might have been a low kick. Come on, ref. And the military press. He might have caught him in the thigh, but it looked dangerously close. Spinning back elbow by Tom. The Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane will take on the U.S. Tag Team Champions for the titles. And again, Spivey just moves out of the way. He's had Z-Man's number. Has those high-risk moves well scouted. He's done his homework. And this is where the Z-Man doesn't want to find himself, but a good inverted DDT there by Tom Zenk. Here comes the living legend over. Look out, Tom. Tom Zenk with a drop toe hold on Larry. And here comes Rick Rude over. Z-Man wisely gets back in the ring. And now taunting Dan Spivey. Z-Man sets him up. Might be looking for the Savate kick, but no, it's a clue. And second, off the ropes now. Z-Man, beautiful drop kick. Right in the kisser. And Tom Zenk now on the offense. There it is. The sweet Savate kick. Cover. Hooks the leg. 1. Middle of the ring. He's got him. No, a 2 count. Spivey able to kick out. Z-Man can't believe it. Very few men kick out of that move. Tom Zenk with a front face lock. Abdominal stretch. The U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Steiner Brothers, taking on the former champions next Saturday in Tokyo with the titles on the line. What a night that's going to be. You won't want to miss it. 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Spivey looking for the camel clutch. Fans, I've noticed that the audio sometimes is fading out. Like I said, clothesline a few minutes ago, and it sounded like it cut some of it out. I apologize for that. I find myself using aging equipment. I've had it a long time. We recently updated my wife's computer that she uses here. Might be looking at getting a new one for myself. I bought my computer in 2019, I believe. Vicious clothesline, some payback here by Dan Spivey. He ducks Z-Man's attempt at the clothesline, and he floored Tom Zenk. This might be the beginning of the end for the Z-Man. Spivey looking for the choke slam, has him up and drives him down. Goes for the cover. This is going to be all. Cover, hooks the leg. 2 and 3. No, Z-Man again kicks out. What heart Tom Zenk is showing here tonight. But Dan Spivey is crossed over. He's in powerbomb mode. Oh, right in the breadbasket. If he gets him up, it's going to be over. Can Z-Man reverse it? No. He planted him with authority. And that's going to end Tom Zenk's winning streak. 2 and 3. No! Zenk! Put up the shoulder. Spivey's furious. Yelling at the referee. He's going to go for the cover again. Said counting down. And the Z-Man near fall again. Tom Zenk got the shoulder. He lifted it off the mat. What a matchup here. 2 back-to-back great matches to kick off WCW Saturday night. And Z-Man's been bloodied. He bloodied his mouth. I think his nose and his mouth. And Tom Zenk's covering his face. It's a crimson mask. The blood's gushing. He's going to try to bust him open worse. Now the forehead. We're going to have to draw the cameras back. His face, a crimson mask. Fans, you might want to send your kids home or to bed. To bed early, so I'm trying to say. Cover here by Spivey. Gets a 1 count. Good block there by Tom Zenk. And he's fighting back. Scoops him up. Slams him down. And Tom Zenk going up top. He might be looking for the missile drop kick. If he can land it, it's going to be over. Tom Zenk rallying. Fighting against the pain. Missile drop kick. He rocked him. Cover. Hooks up the leg. 1, 2. He got him. Z-Man will continue his winning ways here in World Championship Wrestling. And he's going to need medical attention. He just increased his chances of being the top contender to that TV title, and his name being among those traveling to Tokyo next week. He would love to challenge Barry Windham for that TV title. What a matchup here tonight. He rallied to defeat Big Dan Spivey. Medusa furious at ringside. Z-Man survived a whirly-bird slam and also the powerbomb to come back and win this one with that missile dropkick.
Here is your winner, Z-Man Tom Zenk.
Yeah, his mouth is bloodied. Bloodied mouth, busted nose, split open forehead. But Z-Man, your victor here tonight. And referee Bill Scott just warned Medusa and her clan not to even think about coming in. They would face fines and suspension. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ring, wrestling fans. Wild Bill Irwin waiting the arrival of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That's Ravishing Rick Rude! Ravishing Rick Rude! Look out, Ricky! Ricky, look out! From behind, he takes down Ricky Steamboat. And Wild Bill, beside himself, he wanted this match here. But Rick Rude has attacked Ricky Steamboat. And Bill Scott is holding back Wild Bill, trying to restrain him. Bill is yelling, "This is not your match." I guess yelling at Rick Rude. Come on, security, we got to get help for Ricky Steamboat. Rude's just bouncing Steamboat's head off the rampway, and now measures him, drives the elbow right across the throat. Unprovoked attack here. What did Ricky Steamboat do? A DDT on the rampway. And Rude again, bouncing Steamboat's head off the ramp. Now putting the boots to the dragon. And now poses for the crowd. We've got to take a timeout. Our medical team busy tonight. They're tending to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He is under concussion protocol.
is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Marietta, Georgia, weighing in at 226 pounds, Brad Armstrong.
Needless to say, Ricky Steamboat unable to compete. The match was thrown out. We will not see Wild Bill Irwin taking on Ricky Steamboat tonight. Perhaps in the future. What a match that would have been. Both men top contenders to the TV title. There's another top contender right there. That's Brad Armstrong. Tonight we're going to find out who will get that TV title shot next week in Tokyo. I think Steamboat hurt his chances. Well, Rude hurt it for him by taking him out of commission. Wild Bill also on the bad end of that too.
And his opponent, accompanied by the Barbarian, and from parts unknown, weighing in at 321 pounds, Warlord.
A win by Wild Bill would have propelled him up the rankings. He very well could have received a TV title shot, but I think that pretty much ruled out Steamboat and Wild Bill as the potential challengers for Barry Windham next week. It could very well be the awesome Warlord. Or it could be Brad Armstrong. Or it could be Tom Zenk. I'd say those are your top three contenders, and we'll know by the end of tonight who will get that title shot next week. Z-Man, he really put a strong case for himself, beating Dan Spivey here tonight, and he has not lost in a long time in singles action. Still to come, wrestling fans, our big main event, the Great Muta and Stan Hansen taking on U.S. Champion Sting and Lex Luger, two members of Hot Stuff International. Missy Hite here tonight. Talked to her earlier. She's excited about traveling to Japan with her wrestlers. And fans, good news on Ric Flair. He did not sustain any major injuries either. And he should be ready for next week's matchup with Big Van Vader with the World Heavyweight title on the line. What a challenge here for Brad Armstrong, who has also won a number of matches in a row. But he has not faced anybody the likes of the Warlord. Warlord hoping to end that winning streak here tonight. I think if Warlord wins, that's got to make Z-Man the top contender. If Brad Armstrong wins, it's neck and neck between him and Z-Man, who will be chosen. 15-minute time limit in this one. Referee calls for the bell. And Warlord, wasting no time, just scooped up Brad Armstrong like a small child and slams him to the mat. Warlord cranking the neck. Bangs the head off the mat. And Brad Armstrong, good move there. Desperation move, spins around, looking for a quick win here. Sunset flip, has him down. One, gets a 1 count. Warlord just too strong, couldn't hold him down. Went for the clothesline, he just bounced off him. Now he's going to try the head scissor takedown, and that works. Good effective move by Armstrong. And Armstrong knows he has to be quick. He's got to take it to Warlord. And not let up. Now trying to drive him down, and does. Armstrong going to the top rope, high risk move. Lands the elbow, looks for a quick cover. Hooks the leg, 1. Gets a 1 count. And Warlord moves out of the way. Good heads up move. We've got Brad Armstrong out here by himself. Float over suplex by Warlord into a cover. Gets a 1 count. Dusty Rhodes, perhaps not in any condition to return the favor and be in Brad Armstrong's corner for this matchup. What a physical match that was to kick off the program, with Dusty Rhodes losing for a 3rd time against Barry Windham. Windham has that man's number. Armstrong getting to his feet. Plants the elbow to the midsection, and again. Big right hand there by Armstrong. He's rocking the Warlord. Good snapmare. Snaps the head down. Here comes Barbarian over. Look out, Brad. Snaps the leg. Running elbow drop there by Armstrong. Armstrong measuring the Warlord. Good move there by Brad. And Warlord rolling out under the bottom rope. He's on the apron. Armstrong calls an audible. He's going for something else here. Drags him back in. Neck breaker. Cover here by Brad. Hooks the leg. 1. A 1 count. Whips him into the corner. Charging in. Beautiful monkey flip. Devastating move there by Warlord. Front face lock. Good go behind. Belly to back suplex. And now the Warlord flexing his muscles. The Atlanta crowd not appreciative. Reversal here by Brad. Warlord thrown open over. Brad yelling at Barbarian. He just flipped off the Barbarian. The old-fashioned style. Warlord wants him back in. Elbow to the top of the head. Armstrong with a running bulldog. Great maneuver. He grabbed him like Warlord was a steer. Drove him to the mat. Armstrong looking for his move. Might be going for the Russian leg sweep. But a good counter there by the Warlord. Good fireman carry takeover. And a big punch to the midsection. And Armstrong in trouble. He's trapped in the Cobra Clutch. Lucky for him, he was able to graze the top rope with his fingers. And that was enough for referee Bill Scott to call for a break. And Warlord now deadlifting Armstrong. Powerbomb. This could be the beginning of the end for Brad Armstrong. And here go his TV title chances. But no, he breaks free. Kicks the back of the leg. Snapmare. He kicked him behind the knee. One of the worst places to get struck. Really messes with your balance. Cover here by Armstrong. Hooks the leg. 1. A 1 count. We are approaching 10 minutes left in the time limit. What a physical match it's already been. Armstrong yelled at Barbarian. Baron von Raschke looking on as well. Armstrong looking for the Russian leg sweep, and he plants him. Great move there by Armstrong. Cover. Wraps up the leg. 1. Can he hold him down? Yes, he can. And Armstrong wins. His winning streak continues as well, and now the championship committee has quite a decision to make between either Z-Man or Brad Armstrong on who will get that TV title shot next week. Hope to have that announcement. We will have that announcement before we go off the air. I'll find out. If I can't, I know Missy Hyatt will, and I'll contact her. Wait a minute, wrestling fans. Barry Windham has hit the ring. Windham has just taken down Brad Armstrong from behind. Warlord being tended to by Paul Jones. They're headed back up the rampway, but Barbarian and Baron von Raschke staying out there as Barry Windham takes it to Brad Armstrong. Some payback here from Barry Windham. Remember, Armstrong and Windham had words earlier during Windham's successful title defense. Now Windham taking out on Armstrong, and maybe Windham has handpicked his opponent. He is. If Armstrong's able to wrestle, that is, next week, we've got to get some help for Brad Armstrong. Where's Dusty Rhodes? Fans irate here in Atlanta. They want to see someone to help Brad Armstrong. It has been the night of the sneak attack. We've got to take a timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. It is time for our main event. Big tag team match. A preview of next week's WCW Japan Super Show. And the Great Muta making his way to the ring. He will take on Sting next week for the U.S. Heavyweight title. Impressive display by the Great Muta.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Osaka, Japan, weighing in at 243 pounds, the Great Muta.
This just in, fans, Ricky Steamboat is okay. He will continue to be monitored for concussion overnight, but as long as he is cleared next Saturday night, he will travel. He will already be in Tokyo. We're going to make that trip this week. I believe Tuesday will be the departure when the plane heads to Tokyo. But Ricky Steamboat will take on Ravishing Rick Rude in a grudge match. That is coming your way this Saturday at the WCW Japan Super Show.
And his partner from Borger, Texas, weighing in at 320 pounds, Stan Hansen.
Here are the matches we know so far for the WCW Japan Super Show. World Champion Ric Flair will defend against the number one contender and the Battle Bowl champion, Big Van Vader. The World Tag Team titles on the line as the champions take on the number one contenders and former champions, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. Anderson and Blanchard, of course, the champions. U.S. champion Sting will take on Great Muta. As was just announced, Ricky Steamboat taking on Ravishing Rick Rude. The Road Warriors will take on Doom in a Tornado Tag Team match. And that man right there, Stan Hansen, will face Lex Luger. And of course, the U.S. Tag Team titles on the line as the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott, take on Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane, the Midnight Express. What an ovation for Sting and Lex Luger, and they did not come alone. We got Missy Hyatt coming out as well. Hot Stuff International and Scott Steiner, one half of the U.S. Tag Team Champions.
And their opponents, accompanied by Scott Steiner, and at a combined weight of 526 pounds, Sting, and the total package, Lex Luger.
My condolences go out to the fans and friends and family of Mr. Electricity, Steve Regal. It was announced that he had passed away. He passed away on July 30th of this year, but we're just now hearing about it this week. So definitely our thoughts and prayers with the family of Mr. Regal. I have his action figure, AWA Remco. He was teamed with Jimmy Garvin, I believe, and Precious. They came in a 3-pack. Talking about the AWA Remco figures that came out in 1985. Actually, it ran from 85 through 86 or 87, I believe. That is a powerful trio in the ring right now. Scott Steiner, Lex Luger, and Sting. Of course, it's Luger and Sting in tag team action. They are best friends. Luger wants Hansen here tonight. Sting wants Muta. They're going to get their opportunity. We are with you till 7:05. We'll stay longer if we need to. 7:05 on the East Coast. Hansen and Muta outnumbered. Sting and Luger have Steiner and Hyatt in their corner. We do not expect to see either Hyatt or Steiner interfere, but you never know. But just having those extra cheerleaders, so to speak, will help Sting and Luger. Sting will start things off against the Great Muta. 15-minute time limit. Referee calls for the bell. And the fans in Atlanta cheering for the Stinger. But Muta taking it to Sting. And there's the Dragon Sleeper. Muta trying to put Sting away early. Sting feeding off the energy from the crowd. Breaks free. Thunderous clothesline. This past week I caught some matches from one of the old Clash of the Champions from early part of 1991. Sting was taking on Nikita Koloff. Sting might be going for the Scorpion Deathlock. No, he just stomps the midsection way too early to go for the Scorpion. Calls out to the crowd with his trademark yell. Sting, looking for a beautiful suplex. Almost got him a Steamboat. Thinking about Ricky Steamboat, I suppose, after that attack by Ravishing Rick Rude. And fans, we have 2 more matches to announce. They just came in. And the big one, of course, is TV champion Barry Windham will take on Brad Armstrong. I guess that's no surprise after you saw Windham attack him. Brad Armstrong will be okay. And he is the #1 contender for that TV title. He'll get his shot next week in Tokyo. What a match that's going to be. And the other match, of course, Z-Man handed the consolation prize. He and Brian Pillman will team up to take on the Skyscrapers, Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey. But the good news is, Z-Man receives the special purse issued to everyone challenging to Japan next week. A nice Christmas bonus. And he also has the opportunity to move up the rankings in the tag team division if he and Brian Pillman can defeat the big Skyscrapers. So it's not a total loss for the Z-Man, but you know he would love to be challenging for that TV title next week. Stan Hansen picks him up. Clubbing blow there by Hansen. Hansen now grabs Luger. Throws him up and over. Luger grabs onto the top rope for dear life. Hansen snap-mares him back in the ring. Strong kick there by big Stan Hansen. And Hansen wants to brutalize Lex Luger here a week before Japan. Clubbing elbow drop there by the man from Borger, Texas. We saw Hansen put those boots to Luger, and there's a repeat. An encore performance from Stan Hansen. Leaping knee across the chest. Sting had an opportunity to deliver a cheap shot on Hansen and chose not to. Luger cranking the neck. Luger working on the back. Luger drops all the weight down on the back of Stan Hansen. And now the double axe handle. And fans, we're going to do a complete rundown one last time of next week's program. It will be World Champion Ric Flair versus Vader. World Tag Team Champions Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard versus the Rock and Roll Express. U.S. Champion Sting taking on the Great Muta. Luger lifts him up and throws him across the ring. And now flexes for the fans. But meanwhile, Stan Hansen crawling over Luger unaware and makes the tag to the Great Muta. Muta from behind. And he took Luger by surprise with that dropkick. I was about to say that U.S. Champion Sting will take on this man, the Great Muta. It'll be Brian Pillman and the Z-Man taking on the Skyscrapers. Rick Rude faces Ricky Steamboat. For the TV title, the champion Barry Windham defends against the #1 contender Brad Armstrong. Doom will take on the Road Warriors in a Tornado Tag Team match. Stan Hansen faces Lex Luger. And for the U.S. Tag Team title, the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott, taking on the former champions, the Midnight Express. Sting going to work on Muta. Plexes him high. Good standing vertical suplex. All the blood rushing to the head. Drives him to the mat. As we approach 10 minutes remaining in the time limit. Dragon Sleeper here by Sting. Sting picks him up. Presses him high above his head and drops him to the mat. Stomps the lower back. He'll sit down on Muta. Pulling back on the cheeks. Looking for a submission win. And Muta grabs the hands and flips him over. Good escape there by the Pearl of the Orient, the Great Muta. And Muta looking for the handspring elbow and lands it on Sting. If he can do that next week, we'll have a new U.S. champion. He would love nothing more than to go to Japan and capture the U.S. championship. Hansen stomping away on the knees. It's no secret that Sting has had leg injuries over the years. And Hansen going to work. on that bum knee. Wrenching away on the ankle. Again, stomping the knee. Hansen methodical. Flips him back over. And just drives the elbow across the chest of the U.S. champion. Hansen choking away on Sting. Missy Hyatt looking on with concern. Hansen going to the eyes. Raking the nose as well. Hansen from behind has Sting up. Beautiful back suplex. Scott Steiner can't stand to watch. He is looking extremely frustrated at ringside. He'd love to be in there. Hansen trying to turn him over in that Boston Crab. And Luger comes in and breaks it up. Fortunate for Sting, Hansen has caused men to submit to that move. And now we're seeing Luger breaking the rules. He couldn't take any more. Luger off the top. Big splash on the Muta. Big flying shoulder tackle by Hansen, but Sting rolls out of bounds. And he'll talk things over with his manager, Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt, of course, wearing the red and the black tonight. Sting throws Muta into the railing, but Stan Hansen from behind. Here comes Luger into the ring. He just knocked down referee Bill Scott. I don't think it was intentional. He just got in the way, but he gets suplexed on. Luger just suplexed Great Muta onto the referee. Sting with a Scorpion Death Drop onto Hansen on the floor. Hansen might be out. Missy Hyatt coming over to give aid to Sting if needed. And she is standing right in front of Hansen, but Hansen back in the ring, gets taken down with a clothesline. Covered by Sting. A kick out by Stan. Seven minutes remain in the time limit. Sting and Hansen, the legal men. Sting shoots him into the corner. Going for the Stinger Splash. He might be going for the Scorpion right here. Sting measuring him. And going to be a second Scorpion Death Drop. He planted Hansen. Cover. 1, 2. Muta was there, but Hansen was able to kick out on his own accord. Sting picks him up. Into the buckle again. This time he'll tag in Lex Luger. Muta once in there. Bill Scott restraining him. Good double team here by Sting and Luger. And a cover by the total package. Muta was coming in. Muta came in from behind. Luger abandoned the pin. And a right hand there by Sting. Sting was directing traffic there. He told Luger that Muta was coming up from behind. 6 minutes to go in the time limit. Luger and Sting in control. Can they put away Hansen here? A knee to the midsection. And Luger wants to punish the man from Borger, Texas. Luger will pose for the crowd. Turns his back on his opponent for a second time. Think he would have learned the first time. Luger's ego getting in the way here tonight. Double team there by Sting and Lex. Sting going to try to get Stan Hansen up. That standing vertical suplex, we saw it earlier. Having trouble holding Hansen up. He's a larger man than Muta. But he is plexing him high. Good move there by Sting. And now Sting going up top. Here comes Great Muta over. Look out, Sting. Sting just now noticed him, but it's too late. As Muta shoves him off the top rope. And now Luger taking offense to that. He drives Muta off the mat with a right hand. Or off the apron, rather. With a right hand. Scott Steiner coming over. It is breaking down here tonight in Atlanta. Sting and Hansen fighting in the ring. Sting with roundhouse rights takes down Stan Hansen. Sting flips him over. Now turns him back over the other way. He'll yank the leg. Yanking the leg, trying to yank it out of the socket. Sting now throws him into the buckle. Charging in. Stinger Splash for a second time. And this time Sting wasting no time. He's looking for the Scorpion Deathlock. Sting just saw Muta. And Sting's going to release the hold. He was fearing that Great Muta was coming in. Muta must have said something to indicate that fact. A referee is down. It is really breaking down here. Sting focused on Great Muta. We got 4 minutes left in the time limit. Here goes Missy Hyatt over, trying to calm down the Stinger. Sting is furious. I don't know what Muta said to him. Good waistlock suplex there by Luger. Referee Bill Scott warns him to get out of the ring or he'll be disqualified. Sting climbing to the top rope. High risk move. And a big splash. Goes for the cover. Great finds a leg. 2 and a 2 count. Hansen able to kick out. Sting realized earlier that he made the mistake of not taking out Great Muta before trying that Scorpion Deathlock on Stan Hansen. Had his back to Muta. And I don't know what Muta said to Sting, but it really got under Sting's skin. Low kick there by Sting. I don't think the referee saw that. Picks him up. A powerbomb. Hansen, no small man. But Sting just powerbombed him with authority. And Luger rushes into the ring. Again, Muta was yelling something at Sting. Luger heard it that time. This one becoming quite chaotic. As we approach 2.5 minutes left in the time limit, Sting off the top, flying clothesline. But Hansen just shook it off and he shook it off and got to his feet quickly. The adrenaline just kicking in and the crossface on Sting. Hansen able to break it up. Referee needs to restore some order. Even Missy Hyatt yelling at referee Bill Scott. Military press there by Luger. And now Luger was going after Muta, but Muta jumped off the apron. Luger's going to help him win the hard way. A suplex into the ring, and this one's just turned into a Pier 6 brawl. I think Sting and Hansen still legal. Sting has Hansen. Throws him shoulder first into the ring post. Missy Hyatt yelling at Sting to put him away. Fans, we're going to be with you next Saturday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you from Japan, Tokyo. What a night. It's going to be 5 title matches and 4 grudge matches. Cover here by Luger, but Muta makes the save. And that's what Sting was fearing earlier. Muta, they need to keep him from interfering. But this one's just breaking down. We got 1 minute left. I think Luger and Hansen are legal. Luger needs to put him away here, or Hansen needs to rally and defeat Luger off the top. This one could end in a draw. We got 45 seconds left. Neither man either going for a pinfall or submission. Muta's been busted open. Sting just dropped him face first over that steel railing. 30 seconds left. Luger might be going for the torture rack. Can he get him up? From behind, but no, not going for the rack. Hansen blocked it, but Luger will use an alternate move. 20 seconds remain. And Luger looking for a submission as the clock ticks down. 15 seconds left. Luger's got to pin him right here. Muta's up on the apron again. 10 seconds. Luger charging in. Thunderous clothesline. Cover him. Cover him. 4 seconds left. Cover. Time limit draw. We're out of time. See you next Saturday.